All right, quick recap. You know, we went back to the basics, right? To make sure that everybody knows how to do deals. There's a lot of new wholesalers, connectors, private money lenders, gators, real estate agents. There's a lot of bad deals. There's a lot of people struggling to get deals. Evaluating deals is another. So that's the reason why we're doing the deal basics. Okay. You guys aren't the only ones. There's other people too. Of course, all these skills are crucial for your success, right? If you want to succeed in real estate, you're going to have to know how to do every single one of these. Today's going to be a boring one, right? Straight up. It's paperwork. Not a lot of people want to pay attention to paperwork, but here's the thing. You can go pay TC to do your paperwork and you can lose $1,500 on your deal. You might get it cheaper, right? They might be more expensive, but so be it. So it's really important to know paperwork and also be able to do your own due diligence so that you can also trust but verify. You can trust people, you can trust your TCs, but you always going to want to be the one that verifies at the end of the day. So again, what we've covered so far with the deal basics, we've already went through comping, we already went through underwriting, we already went through, rehab estimation, we already went through offers. Paperwork, I'm gonna deep dive into it, and we're gonna go over the contracts briefly. And of course, if you have any questions, stop me, ask me what does it mean. But I'm also gonna go for, because a lot of you guys have built already, how to upload it into Built and use it as a template so that you're able to use it on a repeat. Okay, so you don't have to hesitate. You don't have to hire a TC. You can literally just do it right away. Let's say you have a person, a direct to seller, you're talking to them and they say, cool, send me the contract. Well, you can switch it over and send them a contract immediately. Same thing for, wholesalers, assignment contracts, whatever it may be, JV agreements. We're going to go over all of that cool stuff. And if you haven't seen our previous videos or need to rewatch them, you can find them on the YouTube channel. But here, let's see. Let me put this in the chat for, well, I guess all you guys already have it probably in here, but I'll put it in there again. So the YouTube channel is on there. Also, the other resources that we're going to be using as well is on there. So let's kind of get into this. So as usual, the resources are free. Okay, just use the link. You'll access everything. It's in a Google Drive. I know it's overwhelming, but this is why we're doing the basics and we're kind of using those resources in itself. But here, I'm gonna share this because this is important to see. And then we'll kind of go into it. So when it comes to deal paperwork, there's of course your purchase and sale agreements. There's going to be TC paperwork. There's going to be assignment agreements, and there's going to be JV. We're not going to go over creative today. This is specifically meant for, sub 2 members and stuff, but, and of course, executory contracts are also going to be left out. Right now, we're going to talk about the basics, right? So we're going to talk about wholesale and cash contracts. We're going to talk about all the title and escrow, whether it's attorney or title company, doesn't matter. All the TC work and the email follow-ups needed as if you were a TC. And then, of course, the assignment contract and then the JV contract if you choose to JV with somebody. Now, why are these important? Well, number one, you're not going to get a deal without a contract. And unless you know how to communicate with title, which a lot of people don't, then you could probably do it on the phone, but it's more professional to do it through email. Okay, you have a track record, you have a timestamp with the title company in case they do delay, in case they do, screw up a deal, which it happens a lot. I'll give a quick example of that. We went through and, recorded somebody in second lien position on a property, a lender. Well, guess what happened? They said they recorded it. 3 months later, my lender comes to me and says, hey, by the way, I'm not on title. Well, guess what? Who screwed up on that? We paid insurance, title company. Well, we have proof of record through email. And so we were able to get them to do it completely for free. We're not going to get charged for something that wasn't our responsibility. So it's really important to have, documentation in place. And, although a TC, does most of this stuff for you, it's good to know. And then, of course, assignment contracts. If you plan on wholesaling, Well, you can't wholesale without an assignment contract. And there's plenty of them online, but you want to have protection in there. You want to have like EMD timelines. You want to have where hard for EMD money is hard at a certain point where they can't get their money back. So you can protect yourself and protect the seller and so forth. And then of course the regular JV agreements is it's used for private money. It's meant for just connectors. It's meant for just partnering on a deal in general and doing a flip together. A lot of things are necessary when it comes to JV agreements. So we're going to kind of get into all of those. All the templates for these are inside the drive that was provided. So you guys have access to all these and all these documents. Again, just for reference, this is not legal advice. Please, use your own attorney, use your own title company and verify certain things. A lot of these are from sub 2, so they've already been verified, but do your own due diligence. So let's just kind of go over these contracts and stuff just briefly. So again, the whole main reason why we use a contract is it's a set of instructions for title and escrow, right? They need to be able to do a transaction correctly. And if they don't have the right instructions, they're not going to be able to do it. Technically, you can do a contract on a piece of paper or a napkin. Doesn't mean it's correct and doesn't mean it's legally binding and doesn't mean that you're protected in any way. Okay, so there's a lot of stuff in here, but what's really important to note is, of course, your purchase price. When you closing this deal, close of escrow, how much money you're putting down for EMD. In some states, you might have option fees, so you need to include that as well. Of course, you're gonna have the address. You want to put all the details of your escrow agent, who's involved, the seller or the buyer, inspection period, how many days. If you're wholesaling, you probably do a 15-day inspection period, a 30-day close of escrow. And then, of course, who's paying all the fees? Is it you? If it's direct to seller, probably you. If it's direct to agent, probably the seller. Maybe you're dividing it in half, 50-50. You determine that. What property is staying in place, additional terms and conditions, like, if let's say 15 days pass, well, maybe I want an additional $500 to extend the inspection period. Maybe you can put it there if necessary. You can put whatever you want, honestly, there. And then, of course, all the legal binding stuff that's in here when it comes to inspection, title, disclosures, and so forth. Make sure you read these documents and understand them, okay? Because what is a cure notice? Well, you might want to know what that is because you can't, let's say a seller backs out of the agreement and they don't get you at the closing table. Well, you need to send a cure notice first before you can bind them in not selling to anybody else, right? There are certain procedures, and so we include those in these agreements. And most sellers don't have any issues with these agreements. You're not going to use this for a direct agent MLS deal. They're probably going to use their own MLS. What do they call them? Like in Florida, it's called the FAR agreement, Florida Association of Realtors. They have their own agreements. So, but this is mainly for like direct to seller. Sellers are not going to have any issues with this contract. They might be like, well, why are we have a memorandum on here? Why is there cure notice? But like, tell them it's there for your protection. It's a simple agreement. It's nothing too much. It's not a creative document whatsoever. You can't use this for creative finance. It's way too simple, and it doesn't protect you if you're doing a creative deal. So go through it, understand what everything does, right? Make sure that you can get your EMD out in a timely manner. And if you need to modify it, modify it. But that's available in, if you go to probably this one, they're all in transactional coordination for this session, but you got your purchase and sale for the cash, you got your JV agreement, you got your assignment contract, and then of course all the email templates for TC. So let's go back to this. So again, for the TC stuff, we already have it open, but I just want to kind of give you guys, when you do open a deal, you want to open escrow, right? And there's going to be instructions that you're going to give a title company. And let me zoom in on here so you guys can see. So as I said, this is going to be a really boring Zoom, but it's needed. So you're basically telling them that you have an executed contract, okay? You're going to, give them title commitment. You're going to give them a copy of everything, who's in charge of closing, who's going to be the one that they need to be, speaking to. who they need to reference, who's taking care of funds. If there's assignment contracts, should probably give them there too as well. If there is any probates or power of attorneys or executories and stuff like that, that needs to be all provided. And then additional information, and they need to notify. So it's really important to give all this. There's simplified versions as well. There's other ones in here that you can kind of take into consideration. But if you go to new contract template email, there's also another version that you can look at. Depends on which one you use. I prefer the other one just because it's more detailed. But again, same idea. I think we zoomed in too much. Let's just do this. So again, property address, target closing date, all this is already in the contract, so you don't typically have to restate it, but it's just easier to let them know things briefly than for them to kind of go in place. A lot of this is not really needed if there's no renter in there. And then of course, you're just letting them know what's going on. Okay. It's a set of instructions at the end of the day. If you bring a piece of paper, a napkin, and you give them an email and both parties signed on that napkin, they will follow it too. Okay. I know people like to be extra on their agreements, but it's not really the case. Can you guys see this, or is it blurry or anything on your guys' side? It's good. Okay, cool.
Yeah, it's good.
All right. Let's see. So notice how there's a lot of email templates in here. A lot of these are important, right? Maybe not so much for cash deals, but a lot of them were for creative, specifically, executory contracts, if there's tenants involved, reminders for, let's say, earnest money reminder for, let's say, your assigner, your assignee, right? If they end up, let's say, signing an assignment contract, well, you want to remind them if they're not there in time, right? Well, here's a template that you can use. It's good to set those up inside your CRM or your G Suite account or 365, and just set up a bunch of templates using these so you can just plug and play, right? So you have them at all time. Again, follow up for inspection is really important when the inspection is done, so you can notify title, so that saying that inspection period is done as well. If you're wholesaling, you're probably not going to need that. You're just going to tell them how, we're good to go. But if you're wholesaling and you're not doing inspections, why not, right? It's important. It helps you sell a deal and so forth. If you have to change new title company because you don't like that one you're working with currently, if you need insurance, property management, getting involved into a deal, all of these are really, really good templates that you guys can use. Okay. So take that into consideration. And then the assignment contract. So assignment contract, and notice that it's really simple. Again, the templates are very, very similar. You'll notice the JV is similar to this one as well. But basically, we have two parties, right? You're the assigner, they're the assignee. You're gonna get all their information. You're gonna put the property information in there, what their purchase price is, which is typically higher than what you have it locked up for. The escrow agent's information, which we've already communicated with using these templates. How much money, earnest money they're putting in, closing date, and then of course everything that you need to know that the assigner needs to do, right? And so the assignee's earnest money may only be returned in the event where the seller, right, can't deliver. Okay, so in this case, their money goes hard, right? Representation and warranties, they have to close in a timely manner. Again, if they'll breach, they'll lose their money. Further assignment, you can choose here. Now, you typically don't want them to daisy chain, but in this case, they must provide, who they're assigning to. You can change that, of course. Notices, and then of course that they can sign, through DocuSign or so forth. Very simple, again, assignment contract. There are other ones out there. I believe there's another one inside these docs. Another one, I don't really like this one too much, honestly, but it's another template. You can use it. But again, just make sure it has the right things that you want in there. Okay. Most important things typically is that they're abiding by your inspection period. And the other thing is that they're EMD. Maybe you don't want them to be able to pull it out at any point in time, and that they need to be doing things on a timely manner. By the way, if you're going to be assigning contracts, make sure you get proof of funds from them as well. And I don't mean a copy, a screenshot of their bank statement. Get their actual bank statement, printed out PDF form from their bank so that you can verify things. Or a hard money lender, of course. Let's see. And then, of course, the JV contract. So JV, again, similar format. Now, JV agreements, in my opinion, are really broad. Okay, it has all the legal information in there, but really it's like how many parties are involved, what property are they involved in, you know, who's the title of the property going to be held in, typically party A, the one that was doing the deal themselves, the one that operating it. Allocation of expenses just really depends on what your deal, how you guys are going about it. Typically not the case in a lot of our deals. Also, who's going to be receiving payments, typically just party A. You know, who's going to be, you know, how you just distributing profits, right? In the deal, if you're doing a larger, like for example, luxury flipping deal or a luxury deal, or maybe a multifamily deal, you'll divide percentages, you know, based on who funded what, who's doing what in the deal. If it's just interest, you know, you're probably not going to give them percentage of profit. You're just going to write it in the additional terms, and you're going to say how much that they're getting. And so an example would be party B is the lender and they're the ones funding the deal. In return, they're going to get a percentage of, you know, 10% annually, and they'll be paid on a monthly basis and so forth, right? You just write that in the additional terms. Purpose of the JV, again, you know, what is this all about? The expenses, it goes and deep dives into each one of those that were mentioned above, escrow instructions, terminations of the agreement. A lot of this is basic legal mumbo jumbo. Like, again, go through it. But if you see something you don't like, remove it. But typically, those of us that are in sub 2 all know this contract. We want to use this contract because it protects everybody in every single case. You know, just make sure you're doing deals legitly, and you know, you're not trying to screw someone over. But again, it's a JV agreement, right? There's other versions of these too. I think mine's modified, so it has like a fourth party because we do deals with like a lot of lenders, so we add more lenders onto these JV agreements. But I think the typical one's like 3 parties, and that's it. Again, this is available in the folder where it's at. In here, JV agreement. So yeah, so this is for 4 parties. There's other things in here that you guys need to know about. I'm not going to go into detail of every single one of them because, you know, let's say you're terminating a rental, that's case by case basis, right? If you need to do an affidavit, again, case by case. To estoppel, you know, any amendments, right, onto an agreement. Well, typically you would just put amendment to whatever contract on whatever date, and then you just mutually agree and sign both parties. It's simple. It's a template, right? You can do this on a napkin if you wanted to and set it as a title. It's not the end of the world for these things. There are other things like amendments and stuff like that that help you and do different things, but they're not all always necessary. So that's as far as, you know, what agreements and what are available for you guys to use. Again, go through this. There's a lot of stuff. I gave this to you guys, 4 months ago, and I don't think anybody has really paid attention to them. They briefly looked at them, but they aren't really using them. But I'm going to show you right now that you should be using them, especially if you have built, right? Or if you have, let's say, an email, right? Create templates. And so right now we're actually going to create a template together. See, I was testing one right now on this account for the assignment contract, but we're going to do one together right now for, let's say, the let's go with the purchase and sale agreement. Okay, and we'll just add it together because realistically it's just like DocuSign, and once you have it in there, then you just literally just use it, right? Use the template, right? You can do it that way, or you can do it through automations for, let's say you had a specific deal and you switch it along the pipeline, it automatically sends a contract. There's multiple ways to do it. But for this specific tutorial today, we're just going to go about uploading it. And if anybody wants advanced methods, they can just reach out. But we're going to upload a PDF, and Let's see. Hopefully I can do this. And I'll just upload the purchase contract. Again, if I'm losing you guys, just slow me down, ask questions. It's not a problem because you need to know how to use this system. All right, so here's an agreement. Again, you'd probably get one that's clean. It doesn't have DocuSign, but for example, right now. All right, so right away, there's a lot of fields in here. Well, what would you do if it was DocuSign? Well, you'd probably do text, templates for like every single one of these and then enter them all manually at the time of doing the deal. Well, we already have things pre-filled out in our deal structure. So if I go back and let's say I just go to a random deal that we're working on. Let's see.
Maybe.
Yeah, it's loading. All right, so if we go to, let's say, a deal right here, and let's just say I click on this one. Well, there's property fields. You've probably already pre-filled out on the deal. So if you already know what your EMD is, you know what your purchase price is, you can actually pull that directly into a contract on case by case. You don't have to do it, of course. You could just do it manually through text. And so I'm going to show you guys two methods right now to just do it as a general template, and then the automations, we can do it too. But basically, it's very simple. Plus icon. Let's go over the basic stuff. Initials. Well, put some initials here. And you can actually just, those are what seller. So we'll do that one and then put another one right here. The buyer is probably yourself. So let's just select yourself and then we can leave this one blank for later on. Additional terms, we'll worry about that later. Let's go put on the other initials down here. Let's do one more. This one's again going to be you. But it's very, very simple. It's literally drag and drop. And I've said this before, but no one's actually put it in because I checked people's accounts. I want to see who was actually using it. But yeah, so basically, again, you'd probably do this a lot nicer and take your time. So now you got that information. Let's put this. So this is going to be approved and accepted by seller on. Okay, and that's going to be the date. And so we'll just take the date format, put it there. We're going to take the date again, and this is going to be the buyer. So this is us. We could just select ourselves. And then of course it's going to have a company name. And so we're going to put a text field. We can actually update that based on our company. So account name. And so it has location.name, which takes it from your system. Now, again, you can leave it as a blank text. So let's say I deleted it and you leave it blank. That means when it's actually, your turn to sign, you would type it in manually. Okay. But for this case, let's just put a count and it's just easier. And for them, again, you could do the same thing and put the seller's name in here. So again, it would be contact and then their name or their company name, let's say they had one. But it's either one, their full name or their company name. It depends on what you want. I'll just leave it blank for now because sometimes we don't know. And then let's see, contact information, their address. Again, we probably have their address because we're buying their property. So we can just move that down here. And then let's do another one. And again, all these can be pulled from variables, right? So contact email, we'll do for that one. And then seller, we'll just do contact full name for now. Address, let's actually do this. Contact full address. And then again, for us, the same thing, right? So text, I, typically it's the owner or, manager. It's not important, but let's do this. So this would be our address. So we know what our address is based on the account. And so address line 1. And then email, what's our email? So again, account, email, and then our phone number. So it's very simple how you kind of enter all this information in here. We haven't even gotten to like custom values and stuff like that. This is really just based off the content and our information. But now that that's set up, the only thing that's left is like additional terms if you want to put some in, any property. And what you could do honestly with these is just when you're creating a template is just create a box, right? And you can mark it as not required. And then you can leave this, of course, assigned to yourself to write into it. And then let's actually duplicate that because we want one down here. Oops, can't drag it down. Let's copy it down here. And honestly, I would upload a cleaner version that doesn't have all these lines. It's just so it's easier. And we would uncheck this required button, assign it to ourselves. So we're the ones that are actually typing stuff in there. And now we have all this, right? Property address. Well, most likely we're buying a seller's property. So we can honestly just put the seller's property address in here. It's not going to take more than a line. And we'll just choose it directly, contract address, full address. Their APN number, you're probably going to have to put that in manually. So you would get that from the county tax assessor. Get their APN information, and you want that required. You also want yourself to fill that out. Earnest money. Again, you can leave these blank because you need to modify them. And we'll do purchase price. You can do variables as well with these. You already have them pre-filled out. And then typically escrow agent, you would fill that in yourself. And so, and you can change these from required to not required, depending on how you want to do this. So we're actually going to run through this to test it out and make sure it's all working fine. So here's the seller. I want the seller's name here. And then let's say the buyer. These ones all should be us. Let's just change that real quick. Enter value. This one's going to be us. So we're the buyer account and most likely our company. Where is our company? Yeah, our name. And then inspection period. Oops, that's not what I want. And then technically you're going to want, who's paying for closing costs. So the way I like to do it for these ones, it's not perfect, right? So what you probably want to do is just keep a box and make it not required. And then here, you can just put it over top and you can write an X at that point when you are ready. Let's Make this smaller. Duplicate that. Is this easy enough? Or is this difficult? Good. Should be easy. All right, hopefully I didn't miss anything, but get the point. So all this information is filled out now. What I would suggest is review it, but we're going to save it right now. And then let's say I wanted to use this template. Now, again, I'm not going to go over the advanced of going through and automations right this second, but I just want to show you guys how it works and how it goes through somebody's email and how they receive it, how they sign it, and what's the finished product. All right, so we're going to use this. And all right, so who's the recipients? Right, who are we sending this to? So number one, let's just say it's me. I'm signing, and then let's say my other email is going to be the one that's going to receive it. You can set assigning orders. So you're going to be the first one because you want to fill out certain things first. Now that you got that information in, you're going to hit save, and you're going to go ahead and hit. Okay, so cool. You're going to go ahead and hit send via email. Now I'm going to receive it in my inbox, and I will pull that up for you guys. Cool. Let's open it through here. So that one. All right, cool. So now we have this open right here. Literally, it's view document. Just like a DocuSign. So we got all this. So start filling out. And so technically, we left these blank, but let's just say it's 123 Main Street. All right. And then whatever the APN number is, you would put that in there. Oh, so I didn't assign these, but it's fine. Name escrow agent. I don't know. Let's say her name is Tiffany. And the address is somewhere in Tampa. All right. And this is LC, and her name is Tiffany. Her email is tiffany@gmail. Again, we didn't assign these. No, notice how it says Mo Amin. So I actually, by accident, assigned it to the final signer, which you don't want to do that, by the way. We can fix it after this, but all of these I did the same. Enter value here. We probably don't need anything. Additional terms, again, you don't really need anything for it. You can initial it, change your initial, you can draw, do what you need to do. Again, we'll initial, select today's date, signer, and of course I left it. I didn't designate who's signing, but it's fine. Oh, I missed one other thing. I didn't put the actual signatures in here either. I just put the names. But just to kind of show you guys right here what's going on. So I signed it. Well, the next person is going to be signing. They'll get the next email, just like DocuSign. So what does it look like from here? We'll open it up this one. And again, hi, view document. And this is where it's assigned here. Let's just say it's $2,000. Purchase price is $150. And then close of escrow, let's say 30 days. Inspection, 15. And let's just say buyer and seller or 50-50. Let's just say 100%, which is this one. We want that one to be the buyer. Okay. And then initials, that's fine. Fill in initials. Again, we missed a signature here, but it's fine. I'll show you how to do it. Address, 123, don't like care. By the owner, initials, finish, success. So now automatically, both parties are going to receive the finished product. Okay. And they're going to receive a certificate of signing as well. Let's see if I can pull this one up. Let's pull this over here. Right. So we got that one successful, came through. Of course, my other account got it too. Hi. All right, so you've completely signed. Here's the document, has all the fields completely in there, signatures, and the only one that's actually X'd out. Now, this one didn't come with a certificate because we didn't actually have signatures on here. Let me actually do that real quick for you guys. Let's go back to built and actually assign these. Let's go back. So notice how I made a mistake and it affected the contract. Well, this will happen to you too. Okay, I know I'm going through it fast, but make sure that you're doing the template and not the seller. But let's go ahead and edit this and make sure that we are having signatures in here, because it's really important. If you're going to do something that's online signatures, it needs to be approved, right? It needs to be approved by some sort of third party for verification, and it has an IP address. And of course it has, who's the one that was who's instituted that thing. And so it's really important that we have a certificate. DocuSign gives you a certificate, PandaDoc gives you one, and so does GHL. So it's really cool. It's nice that it's built in for you guys as well. So, you don't have to use these other third-party places and pay an extra dime. But let's see, let me make sure. Let's add our signatures in here. Enter value, built. Cool. All right, so the most important thing, which we completely forgot, was the signatures. So let's add those in here. And then we will call that done. It's not really a space in this contract, but cool. Now let's just save that, and then we will use the template one more time. I told you this would be boring.
It's not boring at all.
It's not boring at all?
Well, not for me because it's all new.
Well, if it's new, that's good. For people who have used DocuSign before, find this really boring.
They can just fast forward.
It can be tedious.
Yeah, they can skip this entire episode. That's up to them. But all right, so we're gonna wait until we get all these emails all over again. But wrong email. Where's my email? Let's go through it one more time. Yeah, this is more manual, right? Like this is not really automated too much, right? But it's still what DocuSign already does right now. earnest money, let's say 2,000, purchase price 200. Close of escrow 30 days. Name Tiffany. LC, address Tampa. Escrow Tiffany at Gmail. Section 15. Again, we want to pay for it all ourselves. And I think I made these required. That's why they're showing up like that, but we'll just put spaces in them. Maybe that'll make them disappear. Yeah. This doesn't need to be filled out. Initials, that's fine. Doesn't need to be filled out. Initials. Again, you might want to modify your agreement to have a little bit more space for a signature, but it is what it is. Enter value, owner. I took my address, cool. Signature, initial, finish. And then we'll go back to this. And view document. Start filling out. Again, the only thing a seller should do is really just initial and sign. They shouldn't really have to do anything more. Make it as easy as possible for them. Same thing if you're signing an agreement, right? Like just make it as easy as possible for them. Accept and sign. They can put their own address. We should have just did an automated thing. But whatever. Main Street, took their email. We didn't put their phone number, but oh well. Initials, finish. So let's see what this final product looks like. And hopefully it comes with all the certificates for us. Sure, we'll get a bunch of notifications once it's done. But so the same way I just did this one purchase and sale agreement, you want to put your assignments in there. You want to put, you know, your JV agreements. And if you have creative documents, you want to do the same thing as well. Okay. So like just go ahead and put them all in there so you have them as a template and you don't really have to worry about it too much. And then you can just plug and play. So let's go back to this and let's check this one. View document. And see what it looks like. Okay. I'm not sure why we didn't get the one with the certificate. Yeah, there we go. So the seller gets the certificate. But yeah, so this is really what's important, right? Is this information here. Because without it, they can't really confirm, right? You have an IP address. If both parties sign with the same IP address, they're gonna say this is fraud, right? Because it is, it looks like it. This is how we have a spot in here for electronic execution of contracts, right? And so like this is what allows us to use DocuSign or something similar, right? And so like this is what kind of verifies that. Without it, you can't really do stuff online. Okay. So let's see, let's turn this off. Let's go to here. Let's just turn this off. All right, bring you guys back up. So again, the whole point of these is to make it resourceful, quick, right? And then you guys get everything right away. I'm not going to do this for 3 hours showing you guys documents. You guys can read it and understand it yourself. If you have any problems setting something up or you just don't know what something means in these contracts, just reach out. I'll help you understand it. Again, I'm not an attorney, right? So like, just keep that in mind. We use other people's documents for a reason. They've already paid attorneys They've already done their due diligence. We do our own due diligence by trusting them, but we also verify that that's the information we like to be in that contract. If you don't like it, change it. Right? There's more contracts that are available. If you're in sub 2, reach out for the creative docs. You probably already have them, or maybe you just don't know where to find them. But I can also help you set up those and help you understand them as well. For the multifamily deal, Luzanne, again, I'll go over it probably tonight. I mean, it's 9 o'clock right now, but I'll take a look at it. If not bright and early, I get up early. So I'll message you in the morning sometime so we can kind of maybe get on a meeting and kind of go over it.
I think I'm 3 hours behind you right now, so just remember that.
Okay. Well, I'll message you whenever you get up or let me know.
Yeah, whenever you
Yeah,
want.
I think I have a few meetings tomorrow, not too many. So we'll figure it out. Again, like we already went over underwriting, but you'll notice that every single deal is completely different, right? Case by case. Every single, is this more of a creative deal or is this more cash?
The multi?
Yeah,
I think he put terms in there already. I think it's creative.
gotcha. Very cool. So creative is, you already got terms. You just need to make sure those terms work for, an end buyer at the end of the day, whether it's yourself or somebody else. We haven't gone over creative deal analysis underwriting anyways, have we? I don't think we have. Maybe a bit we went over it briefly, but maybe we'll record it and post it at another time for other people to see it if as long as we don't show the address. So
Yeah.
we can use it as a helpful resource for other people. But was this helpful today, everybody? Like, was this helpful? Did we get what we needed out of this?
Yep.
Yeah, very helpful.
Cool.
I got play mode. Are you recording this
This is recorded. It's always on my YouTube channel.
so I can watch it on your YouTube channel?
Yes.
Oh, I
Yeah,
see.
it'll be uploaded tomorrow sometime. But it'll be uploaded tomorrow so you can see the replay. If you missed any of the other deal basics 1 through 4, they're all on the YouTube channel right now.
Okay, how do I access your YouTube channel?
I'll put it in the chat, but
What happens if I have my own template for the contract?
yeah, you can upload your own templates.
Okay, I can upload it and then it could be like a DocuSign. It can be done electronically once
Yeah.
uploaded.
The same way I just did the purchase and sale agreement and built.
Yeah.
You can upload any contract you want, any agreement you want. It could be a service contract. Like it doesn't matter what business it's for, real estate. You can upload agreement and have people sign.
So we don't have to use DocuSign.
No, you don't have
It's
to use
part-
DocuSign.
So it's part of your CRM.
Correct. It replaces
Okay.
DocuSign.
I see. Got it. Okay,
Yeah,
thank you.
just another $45 a month thing that you need to throw away.
Right, got it. Thank you.
Glad I didn't open a contract with them.
What's that?
I said I'm glad I didn't bother signing up with them.
Yeah, I mean, I honestly still use them to this day because I have like 50 templates on there. It would take me forever to transfer, everything over, and I just don't want to play with it. But like it does the exact same thing. Like in fact, it's more features when it's in the CRM because you can make it more automated. Because right now I have it going through Zapier. So I have it zapping from the CRM into DocuSign to then do the same thing when I can just do it internally. And I'm paying an additional program, Zapier and DocuSign. So, it's when you're used to something, you typically continue using it regardless of the price, especially when you're not worried about money. Convenience, the hassle of transferring everything over. But Kathy, do you see the link in the chat?
Lost Kathy.
Yeah, I don't know if she heard me, but
Yeah, I saw it. Is that the one that says previous live?
no. If you scroll all the way to the top, there's a YouTube button.
All the way to the top. Oh, yeah, it's one of those symbol. Okay, got
Yeah.
it.
Just click on the YouTube.
Right.
Yeah.
Got it.
Yeah, all the lives will be posted on YouTube because why not? It should be free.
No, I have I have a triplex here in Tucson that I put an offer in on. And the broker's having a complete nervous breakdown about it because it's 0% finance. But we went, they were asking for 50, so we offered 475 at 0% seller finance, and he is just livid. I think the seller is interested in it, but the broker's just having a nervous breakdown.
It's typical when you deal with third party people who don't understand that you could do such a deal. Because like here's the thing, like if he's mad, well, tell me what he wants different. Does he want 5%? Does he want 4%? Does he want 3%? Like, does he want 7 and we meet in the middle, somewhere? Like that's fine. He just
No,
needs
it's
to
not fine because then it's not going to cash flow that we want it to. So I was just like, you know what, this is the offer. Sorry,
it
find
won't
another
cash flow.
buyer.
That's a different story. Yeah.
Yeah, like find another buyer then.
It would
Can't
cash
help
flow if
you.
you put more money down.
We would need yeah, I'd have to show it to you. I'll show you what we did, but yeah, it's funny though. He's just he doesn't get it at all. At all. And it's really just freaking him out bad.
Why would the broker be mad? He's getting the same amount of commission, isn't he?
He's a very aggressive gentleman. Kind of I oh, the personality, it's hard to I can't, I don't want to say. Probably drives a big truck. It just like
Mhm.
insecure, has to prove, himself, and talks about how many deals he's done and how many have you done. I've done this many. How about you?
Well,
And I'm like, it doesn't matter how many deals I've done. This is my offer. And he just hates me for that. He's like, yeah, but I've been doing this and I've done. And I'm like, okay,
well,
that's nice, but this isn't my offer. So
well, obviously he has problems with creative finance because
he definitely does. And it's funny
yeah,
because his guy who brought it to me is in sub 2, and he just kind of like watches the guy, his broker, go off the rails about everything in the Zooms. It's pretty hysterical. I don't know. It'll be interesting to see what happens. But
Yeah, he's gonna have to learn to get over it because like creative finance is becoming more and more like a normal thing. People don't want to deal with these interest rates, so they're gonna do some sort of creative finance method to, you know, alleviate the pain somehow. uh, and the old folks don't want to, they're used to just doing the traditional routes, don't understand, they don't want to understand.
right,
They've done
it's
hundreds of deals using the traditional route. They don't want to do anything creative.
he's younger than me for sure.
Well, I don't mean like that. I mean like that they've been doing it for so long the same way over and over again. And so like that's all they know. Right. And what do they say? If what you don't know typically hurts you in some form or way, right? Whether financially, experience wise, whatever, right? And so it's like he doesn't want to get out of that. And what's a broker? Another real estate agent. That's all they are.
Yeah.
Right. And so like what makes the difference that he focuses on bigger deals? Okay. Well, that means you're probably moving less deals than a real estate agent, for one. And how long has this deal been on the market?
It's not on the market. It's off
Okay.
market. So
Was it
yeah,
on the market previously?
no, it hasn't been on the market.
How long
And
has he
I
been
haven't
trying
even
to
seen
sell
the
this deal?
property yet. Huh?
How long has he been trying to sell it though?
I don't know. But this guy just brought it to me a few weeks back, probably like 3 weeks back, and then he said, we urgently have to close in 2 weeks, and then it hasn't, nothing's happened, and he just keeps trying to get me to, put an interest rate on there, and I'm like, I'm not doing that, like, I mean, I'm already offering like way over, asking price here, like he's getting it all. He's
Yeah.
getting 3 times what his interest would have been, 3 times almost. It's like 2,500 less than what his interest would have been, and I'm just like, all right, dude. I don't know what to tell you.
Seller finance deal?
Say it
Is that what
again?
it is? Is this a seller finance deal?
Yes,
Oh, okay. And you're trying to get it at 0%.
that's what my offer was. Yeah.
Yeah.
And he keeps saying,
And-
well, the seller,
Oh,
he said he brought it to the seller, and the seller said he was okay with it. And that he needed to just talk to his tax, his CP, his whatever, his tax guy, to find out the implications, so on and so forth. And and he keeps coming back to me and saying, I want for you to write another offer where the interest rate is higher, just in case he decides that he doesn't want to do it this way. And then this way we have a backup to show him. And I'm like, if he said that he was interested and he's going to find out his tax implications, why do I need to write another offer? And, I ran the numbers, and it's not going to work.
Have you talked to the seller yet?
No, because it's coming through this brokerage, even though it's not
Fine.
on market.
It's fine, even if there's a broker involved, whether it's a business or a real estate transaction. Like, to really close this deal with it, because it's creative, you need to talk to the seller, whether it's a phone call, face to face, or a Starbucks, it doesn't really matter. Like Zoom, something, 3-way call between the broker and the seller. You guys need to have a conversation, because you don't know what he's portraying to that seller. And you tell the agent that, if you want me to do this deal, if you want me to even negotiate anything, I need to at least have a conversation with the seller to make sure we're all on the same page. And if not, well, then I want nothing to do with this deal, because that's my offer. I'm not budging right now unless I talk to the seller. And he might be like, oh no, well then this is my offer.
Right. Well, the other thing is, like I said, I haven't seen the property yet. He won't let me see the property until it's under contract.
And that's
I'm
fine.
like,
That's a normal thing. It's probably because there's tenants involved, right? So
yeah, there's tenants involved. I just don't even know what the condition is on the inside, right? So I'm not
they
comfortable.
didn't even send you pictures at least, or video?
No.
Well, this is what you can assume right now, right? Because when you get under contract and the place is a disaster, of course, you'll renegotiate. Right now, you're going to assume that it's rent ready. And what I mean by rent ready is, worst case scenario, tenants are living in it, it's livable. That means you might need to, repaint the walls and replace the flooring, right?
Right.
Assume that, basic. But you can also assume, if you're going to cash flow and keep those tenants, if they're not month to month, and let's say they have, like, say, a year on their lease, you don't need to do any renovations for an entire year period.
Right.
Right. Are they month to month, or are they on a lease?
They're on a lease. I think one of them was month to month and is moving out at the end of this month. So one
Okay, so you're
apartment's
gonna have
be
one vacant tenant the
vacant.
moment you buy it, and most likely you're gonna have to do some, a little bit of renovation to get it up again.
Mhm.
Something, let's say 10 grand you put into it. It's probably a small unit.
Yeah, it's just a little bit of-
Yeah, so you just put that into your calculations at that point. And then the other ones, you don't worry about it until the tenants leave. And that's just something that needs to come through from the cash flow, at that point. Or an investor that's investing puts more money into it. Well, those are things that you'll take into consideration, keep in mind. But it's really like, is it necessary right now to get that deal done? Sure, it'll affect your cash on cash return later, but it will still cash flow now. And that really determines the deal.
Yeah. Maybe I can show you that tomorrow as well. You can.
Yeah.
Get an idea of what
We'll
your thoughts are.
we'll look at it. But I think this is helpful for other people as well to kind of understand, how these deals work. Kathy, are you doing deals yet?
Well, not yet. I would like to ask you a question about on phone numbers, because we wanted to start with setting up a phone number in the US. Would you say that if we are actually looking in different market, would you say try to get a local number?
Yes.
So if I look in Washington and I look in Florida, so get two separate numbers,
Yes.
or just stick with one number?
Two separate numbers.
Always use the area code from
Think of it like
market.
this, Kathy, where are you located right now?
Well, I'm outside of the country, so I'm in Canada, so I can't use that. But I'm talking about in the United States. Like if I use a US phone number, can I use it to prospect for all the markets across the United States?
You can, but here's the thing, like if I'm in Florida and I receive a call from a Washington number, I am not answering that phone number. I don't even answer
Okay.
the ones from Arizona, right?
Okay.
Like I'm not
Okay.
answering those phone numbers unless I have that contact saved in my phone number or they text me beforehand, right?
Okay. Oh, okay. So then we will just use different phone numbers. I'm just thinking, is it easier? How difficult is it to track, what is what? Like, I mean, I'm trying to simplify the process.
It's very
Is it easy?
simple. It's
Is
it's
it?
it's it's very simple, right? Whenever you
Okay.
upload contacts, you can
Yeah.
assign it to one user. That user is that phone number. Right. So when you
Okay.
upload a list, let's say the list is Florida, tag it Florida, and then go into your contacts and select all of them and assign it to that one user. Done. So whenever somebody tries, calling outbound from the CRM, it automatically calls from that Florida number.
Okay, logistically, like I don't know how that works. Can we go over this another time? Set up
Yeah,
a session?
yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
That same link I sent you, there's a one-on-one on that. Just book a time that works for you.
Okay, yeah, because I have a phone, I have a physical phone. I mean, I have my number, but how do I dial from my phone? Is an app, right? I do it through an app.
Don't worry about your personal cell phone number. When you have built, you can download the Lead Connector app and you can call using any one of the phone numbers you buy.
Got it. Okay, so I'll be dialing it out using the app, essentially.
Correct.
Got it. Okay, okay. So so the phone number doesn't cost anything. It's when I dial, that's when I pay,
No,
right?
it costs money. Everything costs money.
Okay,
So you're gonna. I think a phone number is either $1.15 or $1.25. I can't remember. But it's
okay.
somewhere around there per month.
Yeah,
And then of course you get charged per usage. So like
right.
how many calls, how many SMS you send out.
Right. Yeah, because there's a company, I think. Have you ever heard of I forgot. Open Phone? Have you heard of Open Phone?
Yes.
What do you think of Open Phone?
I mean, you can integrate it with Built if you want to, but it's not really necessary because we have a built-in dialer.
Right, okay. So I was told that Open Phone, you can record the conversation with the seller. Is that necessary?
We can record the conversation with Built.
You can? Oh, I see. Okay, that's even better. Okay, so then that's okay. So we have to really understand how your phone system works. So let's go set up a call, a session, and then we'll implement that. So that's first thing. And then we're gonna have a list, say that we're buying leads, right? So can we upload that onto your platform? And then we'll just go the dialing directly from your platform. So
Yeah.
we kind of have to go through the full cycle and figure out how this works.
Yeah,
And
it's
so,
very simple once you get to know how to do it.
yeah, okay, let's go start with the phone number first. Okay, that sounds good. Thank you.
You're welcome.
What's the market like, Leanne, in Tucson? Are you guys in a seller's market? Still?
I think, yes, supposedly it's a seller's market, yes, because the inventory is very low right now. Prices are dropping very little at the moment, not a whole lot. But Tucson is a very unique city, as Mo learned when we ran those comps on this one property. So you just kind of have to understand it a little bit. The there's a lot of, it's very eclectic. There's a lot of niches, little niche areas around, so. You know, if you ever need help with an area, you can ask me,
Okay.
help you a little bit.
I
Kathy,
did
are
look at,
you still trying to find a location to target, Kathy?
well, I like Tucson. I was in Tucson. I looked at some properties a year ago when I was in Tucson. I was thinking of buying one for to Airbnb. Uh, I know the area sort of. I want to focus in Washington for wholesaling, not for buy and hold, fix and flip. And then Texas, perhaps San Antonio. Also like Tucson.
So
So,
I like houses in Pennsylvania, and I used to live there for 6 years, but I'll never buy there. So liking
okay,
the area and liking the properties are one thing, but like
yeah.
your market for real estate. That's more
Mhm.
important. Knowing that you can move deals in that market is more important than liking the area.
Well, yeah, that's true. That is true. Tucson, yeah. I mean, if I were to live, like, I guess between Phoenix and Tucson, I like Tucson. I guess I'm not talking about investing. I'm talking about living there. That's true. But I think I like to do some deals in Washington because it's in proximity to me, right? Like it's close to me. I can drive there. So
Mhm.
that's a good reason. And I can't look because that market doesn't cash flow. I mean, it's hard to find cash flow in properties, but I could potentially do fix and flip or wholesaling. So that would be the strategy in that market. San Antonio, Texas, I also like. I mean, I think it's a good market. So it's growing. It's, the people are migrating to Texas. So, but the property tax is very high. What do you think of Texas, Mo?
I don't buy in Texas, but I know insurance is ridiculous. It kills every single creative deal
Yeah, and property taxes is high. Yeah, I agree with you on that. I don't know about insurance. Why is insurance high? I thought Florida is high.
because the hurricanes. A lot of
Uh,
insurance companies have gone bankrupt in those areas,
Texas as well.
Texas and Florida, because the hurricane went through both of them.
Right, okay. What market do you like?
I like Florida, Georgia, Alabama, Tennessee, South Carolina, North Carolina.
Yeah, I like North Carolina, South Carolina, and someone told me recently Alabama. So those are the ones
Well,
that
I picked these areas because number one, I live in Georgia, so it's easier for me to travel to all these locations. I
Oh,
like
South Carolina,
Texas. Yeah, South Carolina is literally like an hour and a half, 2 hours away from me. So
it's also gonna be a double closed state now. Because they
yeah,
just,
I heard. Yeah,
yeah,
really? What does it mean? Close? They're allowing you to do
no
double close?
wholesalers, no wholesalers allowed.
no wholesaling. If you wholesale, you have to have a license, a real estate license, and if you have a real estate license, you're not allowed to wholesale. So they made it,
I see.
Or is that Michigan already is like that, where you can only wholesale maybe one or two deals a year, and then after that you got to double close. I mean, it's the same thing. Every state's going to get stricter and stricter. Um, I mean, agents already lost the ability of buyer's commission if the seller chooses not to pay it.
Mhm.
Agents are getting worse and worse. Wholesalers are getting worse and worse. Double close is becoming the norm in a lot of states. This is why we provide transactional funding for a lot of deals. It's really important, right? If you want to get in the game of real estate, you have to have funds, right? Whether you like it or not. And leveraging other people is really important too.
Yeah, so you guys provide transactional funding. Is this like a bridge loan?
I mean, bridge loans are available, but transactional funding is like, let's say you're doing a double close, right? Well, you
Yes.
need transactional funding for, let's say, a day or two,
Right.
right? From the A to B contract to the B to C contract.
Yeah, for one day. Okay.
Yeah. Um,
I
it's not me that's doing it. It's a third party. It's a friend of ours. He does a lot of deals. He funds a lot of deals. He knows a lot of lenders. If he can't fund it, he'll bring somebody else, especially for the $1 million deals. Like he does a pretty good job at what he does, and anything you guys need, we'll make sure it
right.
gets, as long as it's a deal.
Most of us gators will do them too.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
true. But can you double close, Steve? Or do you
uh,
have private money?
I can get private
So
money. I can use PACE. So
everybody can get, right? So that's the most important thing. As a Gator, you have the skills of networking with other people that have money. But Kathy doesn't right this second. So Kathy, you need to network with Steve in case you need to do a double close on one of your deals.
All right, Steve, how do I contact you?
I'll put my card in the
Okay, where are you located, Steve?
Massachusetts.
I see. Okay.
He's in the
Oh.
middle of nowhere.
Okay, that doesn't matter as long as you can, yeah, you can provide funding. Okay, did you put it in the chat? You want to put
I'm
your
putting it in there now.
Okay,
There you
so
go.
you're part of Pace Morbius group, right?
Yes, Base Movies. I'm Gator and Sub 2.
Right, I see. Till you provide funding is called a Gator. Okay, all right, got it. I will save your contact. Thank you.
There you go.
Mm.
That's how it should be, right? Like you guys should all be communicating with each other and doing deals together because you can't win by yourself.
I agree, I agree.
I have utilized so many people in sub two. It's
Yeah.
insane just to get to where I'm at now. And I still have so far to go, you know, but yeah, I am grateful for that community, that's for sure. For
Yeah,
all the people.
without sub 2, I wouldn't be where I'm at now.
Yeah,
Like definitely, like sub 2 is amazing in the community. All the information you could possibly need, somebody knows the answer. Even to this date, if I don't know something, well, guess where I'm going? Back to sub 2 and asking a million questions.
the question
Right?
in
Or I
here.
just reach out to my friends that are in sub 2 and be like, hey, do you know the answer? No, do you know somebody that knows the answer? It's like,
It was find somebody.
Yeah.
I spend a small portion of my day on those phone calls, you know? Do
yeah.
you know? Oh, I don't, but I think this person knows. Let me connect you. You know, let me connect that person. Let me connect,
But
you know?
here's the thing, right? Like nowadays, there's so many Facebook posts in that group that if you search in that group, you'll find the answer.
Oh, yeah,
Just
for sure.
right. Like you don't even need to ask anybody anything anymore. It's like there's all the information is there. You just search for it.
Mhm.
Is that the group that you have to be a sub 2 member, or
Yes.
is it the
Yeah.
public one?
It's
Oh,
the
No,
you have
the
to be a
public
sub
one.
two.
Oh, gosh, the public one scares me.
Yeah, that public one's a disaster.
Yeah, you can
but-
find the answers in there, but you're not sure if they're
right.
valid, you know?
Yeah, you got to be careful with the regular creative finance group. Yeah, I mean,
And the thing is, you can't, if you ask to talk to a sub 2 student there, you don't really know if they're sub 2 or not.
Yeah, I called out some guy the other day he had the
Yeah.
We Are Sub 2. Did you see that, Mo?
yeah, I
I
did.
was like, I'm confused as to why you're presenting yourself as if you're a sub 2 student
Well,
when you're not.
Yeah, but
Fine.
you know, like
Yeah.
people reach out to me for the discount for built, right? Because the sub 2 members, they reach out to me. I'm like, I'm searching your name. I can't find you. What's going on? It's like that's even my VAs for the customer support when they get an inbound person like, well, I'm gonna have to push you to Mo. Here's his Facebook or whatever. Go DM him and whatever, and then they'll come to me and then they're not. I'm like, okay, sorry,
Yeah,
like can't cheat the system.
we have a directory.
We have a directory. Well, it's like we don't really have a directory, but we have Facebook's how many members, and you search the members.
Well, we do have a directory.
There's only 2,000
well.
members in that directory.
Is there really? They were
Yeah,
redoing
I
it.
pulled it the other
Oh,
day.
because
I
they wanted
literally
everybody
scraped
to put
it.
everything back in, right? But
Yeah.
yeah, but the Facebook members, you just click on members and put the
And you
name in.
search it.
It's like, yeah.
I wish we had a directory, right? Because that would be really nice. But the reason why they don't have the directory anymore because people were cold emailing and cold calling them. They don't want that to happen. But I have like
Yeah.
3,000 members. Do you guys have a directory in Gator? Because I'm not in Gator, Steve.
We have Some directories. We don't have a directory where you can just go clicking Gator and find a directory, but there are directories people have made, that are out there.
Oh, the ones that people make
So,
and there's like few hundred people on them. Yeah, that's not.
yeah. Well,
We need
there
the one
was
that
one
has
who was
9,000 people.
collecting. Yeah, there was one that was collecting them before, and I think he had up to what was it, 2,500.
That's good.
But that was like 6 months ago, so I don't know if he's how up to date it is.
Yeah, like having something like that is really helpful where you could literally, let's say you had a deal that needs funding. You just blast the ball and say, hey, I got this deal. Can you fund it?
Yeah.
And then you get a bunch of people that call you at one time because they're all hungry to do a deal. Um, you know, there's
Yeah.
plenty of ways. But the reason why I was thinking of sub 2 is because, I can't even message in sub 2. So that's difficult right now. You saw the last post I made and about the live, they banned my live post. I was like, what? I can't even post my live a Zoom link. That's horrible.
No Zoom links anymore.
You can't even
You can
write
post
the
the
words
live,
DM
and
me.
what you do though, Modes, what you say is the live is, gonna be at this time.
Mhm.
Go to the built Facebook page.
But I
for
can't
the-
link.
for
I
the
can't
link.
link my built Facebook page then either.
No, but you can put
No.
the name of the built Facebook page, and you can take a screenshot of it so people know when they look for it. Oh, okay, there it is.
Yeah,
So-
that's horrible. I haven't posted in months because of this. It's like I
What
keep
if you-
trying, but
I could post for
I'm not
you.
one to market, period. Like you don't see me marketing anywhere. So it's like,
Yeah.
why am I getting flagged? It's like, okay. It is what it is.
It's,
What if you
it's
put
everybody, no
comments?
Zoom links.
What's that, Kim?
What if you post it in the comments? I've heard that if you post the link in the comments.
Nope. It gets flagged. I posted it last time in the comments, the Zoom link, and it got flagged right away. Someone asked for it. Because
Really?
I can't say the word DM me either. If I say DM,
Yeah, you can't say that either.
So like, I don't know.
Wow.
What do I say? Reach out, or send me a Facebook message. They'll probably still consider that
Send me a
DM.
message. Yeah, they send me a message. Send me a text.
I don't know if you can put
I'm
your phone
hesitant now, right? Because everything I send gets blocked. Like, how do I've tried multiple different things now, but it's okay. We're slowly growing, as far as like the community here, and I'm posting on my personal, and I have like what 2,500 friends or something. So it's like all of them are sub 2. So like a lot of them see it, but as you can see, we don't have that many people join our lives yet. So we're slow and
Well,
steady
once
wins the race.
Once Kathy and I get up and running, we're gonna share the word on Built.
Appreciate that.
Kathy?
Yeah, that's fine. We just have to, we're not techie. I am not anyway, so I need to understand how to, I think if you could walk us step by step and get, yeah, definitely. I think I see a lot of value in this because everything is all in one. And it streamlined the process. And that's what we want. We want to make our life easier. Not having to go through different apps and different tools and different phones. So, and then you got
You
Yeah.
still need Kathy, someone who's an integrator, as a partner, or someone to JV with to help you with the system, right? Like
Yeah.
as much as I want to say the whole point of Built is to replace an integrator, you
Yeah.
still got to be a little bit on the tech side, right?
Yes.
You gotta get it up and running. That's,
Well,
yeah.
even after it starts running, you might run into an issue because you put the wrong message or whatever. It's like you need to learn how to fix that yourself.
Yes, okay. I'm gonna get my daughter on board. Maybe she'd be the techie person to help me. So okay, so I get her on board the next time we get on this, so then she
Okay,
can.
that works, right? I think I met your daughter last time, right?
That's right, yeah. So I'm
Yeah.
hoping she can help with the tech side, but I need to understand that because eventually we want to get a VA to do some of these take over some of these tasks, right?
Yeah, I mean, there's plenty of VAs out there that charge $3, $4, $5 an hour. You can find them everywhere.
How do you find your?
Well, honestly, they reach out to me, but just if you need a VA, let me know. I'll just
You
send
know, that's-
someone. What's that?
They'll be messaging you on Facebook.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because I'm on social media, right? So like my inbox and my spam inbox is literally full. It's like
Okay.
people nonstop, and it's like, oh, I got a service that can help you, or I got VAs. I'm like, okay, cool. And don't get me wrong, like I've hired them for like my video editing, and I hire them for my customer support, and I hire them for, you know, whatever. But it's like some of them are good, some of them aren't.
Yeah, so that's why that's the thing, it's a hit and miss. So there's this company that offers a service, but then it's not $3-4. They charge $12. That's a lot, isn't it?
Yeah, I would not go with that company.
Yeah, that's a
You can
lot.
get
Okay.
VAs $500 a month, right? Up to $1,000 a month, and they are perfectly fine with bachelor degrees, master degrees. Their English is really good. You just got to filter
Okay.
through them, just like applicants. Like I'm
Yeah.
right now going through for my sales team for the commission only sales team, high ticket closing for the lead gen that we're doing, and
Yeah.
I probably interviewed in the last 2 weeks 60 people,
Mhm.
one-on-ones, and I've passed from the first interview to the second interview maybe 12. And out of those 12, only 6 of them showed up because I told them it was a practical and they didn't want to do practical second interview. And so it's like,
Yeah.
I mean, I did it on purpose. Like I know the metrics now, but it's like, you're going to get crappy people. You're going to get crappy people even in America, you know?
Yeah.
So it doesn't matter if they're a VA or American. It doesn't matter. There's just crappy people everywhere. Your HR is a whole nother thing of its own. Human resource
Yeah.
and hiring,
Right.
and managing people. It's like if they aren't good, well, it's probably your fault. You hired them wrong or you managed them wrong.
Right, just like finding tenants, right? If you don't have the good tenants,
Yeah,
it's my fault because I didn't do the screening process properly. It's very
correct.
true. Yeah,
Correct.
okay, got it. So when we get to that point, we'll certainly reach out to you, but we need to set up the basics first, like the website, you know, the phone number and all that, and then upload a list. And then the next thing is we would like we need to understand the process, understand the system, and then we can train a VA, you know, hire a VA, because we need to know what we're doing first, I feel.
That's the right way to think. Absolutely.
Yeah. Got it. Okay, thanks, Mo, for your time.
You're welcome.
Don't be like me. I just do it.
Well, everybody's has a different way where they start, right? It's like you just do it, and
See what
you
happens.
you'll
Fix it
eventually get
later.
to it. Yeah, you'll eventually get to a point though where like enough is enough. I need to hire somebody. Like you'll get to a point. I was
Oh, well,
in
I
that
had
position.
a team with people under me, and yeah, that was getting them motivated. And oh, I like, yeah, I can't. I'm not that type. I'm not that personality. I'm like, I'm an adult. You're an adult. You want something to happen in your life, do it. You know, I cannot hold your hand.
Culture's good. Culture is really good for the workspace, but so is Chef Ramsay style.
Yeah, but that's not
Right.
me.
You do your job
I'll
or
do
get
my
the
own
hell
job.
out.
Basically, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, people don't have the worth ethic that they did when I was younger. So, these
That's
kids they just want to, oh, I don't like it here. I'm changing my job. Well, that's not how it works. You got to do your job if you want to make some money.
Well, for
I'm
one,
not going to pay.
don't hire sub two people or creative finance people.
No,
They all want to be entrepreneurs. They all want to work their own hours. You hire
This-
employees. If you hire a VA, they will make $300, $400, $500 a day, by the way, for 500 to $1,000. That beats any American that wants to like American. The best they'll do is $100 a day. Even then, that's forcing. But you make it a mandatory, right? Motivation is one thing, but you do your job is another. If you can't handle to make $100, because think about it, $100, how many people are going to pick up? 20. So you actually talk to 20 people. And out of those 20 people, you maybe had a longer than a 5-minute conversation for like 3 or 4 of them, because most of them were not interested in even talking to you. And so it's like whether it's an agent, whether it's a wholesaler, whether it's a seller, it doesn't really matter. And so it's not an excuse to make $100. VAs can do 500 and within an 8-hour period, right? Like what makes us any different than them? They just know that they're making really good money, and then they're going to lose this job that they're making really good money for them, of course, in their country. And that they're going to put all the effort that they can give.
So do the VAs use dialers as well?
Yeah, you
Do you
put
give
them
them
on
a dialer?
Yeah, so again, you can put them on a faster dialer and pay for different systems, right? Like you can go 4, 5, 6, 7 lines, right? Where they dial at one time. But even then, like you look at the attempts versus the actual like full on dials.
Right.
They could attempt to dial 1,500 in a day, but they actually dial still 500. And whether they had 4 lines or 1 line, right?
Right.
Because I'd rather have them internally than go through a company where they put them through like a software called Ready Mode, or there's other call rail, or whatever it is. There's other ones out there where they have that dialer, but like if I lose the opportunity to not manage them in-house and be there for them, then there's not really a point.
And then you
Because
have your KPI
I've
trackers and everything in-house.
Yeah, because I've tried hiring companies, agencies for a really long time. Like I had an agency for like 8 months. Don't get me wrong. The operations manager that was on top of them and their team leader, like that reports to me, was good, was decent. But I still held a weekly meeting with them as well to do role play, even though it wasn't my responsibility. I'm paying them to do all that stuff because I wanted them to do it my way and not what they were teaching. Because they're a real estate VA company. It's just like Pace's or Cody Barton's, whatever system. It was something similar to them.
Right.
But when you have a VA in-house, it's better because you have more control and they can come and ask questions when needed, and they can attend the morning huddles that you hold every single day, to make them feel like they're part of the culture. Yeah. So
Mhm.
there's a lot more benefits, but it's a lot more management then, But you give up being on the phone yourself to get into management, and then have other people do it, because you might be really good on the phone, but can you beat 12 people on the phone no matter how bad they are?
Oh, it's hard, yeah.
No, you can't. So you might as well pick something different, pick a different skill
What
to
about AI bot? Have you tried, what do you think of using AI bot to do the calling?
No, we're not ready for that, Kathy. But that thing
No.
needs at least another year, if not 2 years, to be ready.
Okay.
I tried Air AI. I put it through the trial and error. I A/B split tested it, and it was horrible. It can't think.
Yeah.
It can't communicate properly. ChatGPT right now can't communicate properly. We'll
Right.
have a seller or an agent talk about something about being on vacation and they're unavailable at this point in time, and the AI will be like, well, how is it there right now? And it's like, do you not say here that they said they're going there next week? Like it doesn't understand, properly AI right now. And so ChatGPT, conversational AI, Eliza, the built-in stuff that's in GHL, it's like they're all decent, but they're not perfect yet. AI is not perfect. It's not meant for conversation yet.
Okay. So when you work with your VAs, what kind of workflow do you use to keep track? Is it within is it inside
Inbuilt.
your
Inside
It's
built.
inbuilt?
Yeah.
Okay.
You can
Everything
keep
is in.
all the metrics, how many dials they do per day, how many minutes they're on the phone per day, right? It's like,
Yeah.
what's their average call, time frame. You'll be able to see it all.
Right. Okay. And you can track their hours, like when they work and all that. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, so here's the thing, right? I'd rather track how many dials they do versus putting an actual like a clock on their computer that times them if they're not on the computer. Like I did that.
Right.
I used Time
Right.
Doctor for a really long time with my first team that I did online, on Zoom. And it was like I felt like it was micromanaging to a point.
Mhm.
And instead of setting a time that they had to be on there, I set them a daily target that they needed to hit. And so
Yeah.
that worked better than
Yeah.
doing time.
Yeah, because you're using KPI to measure the performance, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Yeah, got it. Okay. So then you pay them on a monthly basis anyway, so it doesn't matter, right? Monthly.
Yeah,
So
I
it's a
mean,
40 days, 40
VAs,
hours
you
a
pay
week,
them on a monthly basis, bi-weekly, depending on how they want to get paid.
right?
But an acquisition team, you would pay them commission only. I wouldn't pay them any base, no matter what. Because
Uh-huh.
they don't perform, they don't get paid. They don't close a deal, they don't get paid.
Right. So acquisition is people who's calling, right? Those is that not acquisition? I mean, they don't
The-
underwrite deal.
No. Acquisitions underwrite deals.
Oh, I
Acquisition-
see.
Acquisitions need to be able to underwrite deals, make offers, close deals. They take it after the VA cold calls and processes them out.
Okay, so you
Well,
don't.
not process them, gets the four pillars, the four main things: purchase price, motivation, urgency, and timeline. You know,
I see. Okay, so you would outsource that as well? Like you don't underwrite it yourself, you get your team to do it.
yeah, the team does it. Once it gets close to being under contract and like there's actual like positivity, or maybe they get it under contract, then we reevaluate the numbers because we have due diligence.
Right, okay.
There's a
You
15-day
need-
period to verify your numbers, to do what you need to do, because don't get me wrong, you can do every single deal. But when you have 7 acquisition people and every single one of them is underwriting, let's say 10 deals a day, you are one person as a manager, as a leader, you cannot re-underwrite all those deals. And a lot of those deals are not even going to go through.
Right,
Like,
so you have to train the VA then to underwrite, or they come with experience?
no, VAs are not going to underwrite. VAs, if you can get the purchase price and them saying, yes, I'm interested in selling, that's all they're good for. They won't
Okay,
even get
so
rehab condition, and they won't even get urgency and the real motivation. Just the purchase price, and yes, I'm interested in selling. That's what a VA does. I know people
right,
like to say, oh, they need to get the 4 pillars. Don't waste their
yeah,
time. I'd rather them push 4 leads a day than 1 lead a day, and they get more people pushed in, because then my closers, my acquisition team, can process and talk to more people and practice more.
yeah,
And you're gonna have to go back over it anyway, the 4 pillars. So.
Yeah, absolutely. That's what the
Like,
process
even if
calls
the
for.
VA does do it, you have to redo the conversation anyway, so it's might as well just have them.
Yeah, shorten their script, right? You shorten their script instead of the 4 pillars. Just get them saying they're interested and try to get a purchase price. That's it. If they're interested, whether they give you a price or not, push it through. Let a professional talk to them. Let an American talk to them. That understands their culture, understands their language, understands their what's the right word I'm looking for? Their smart comments, whatever.
Sarcasm.
Sarcasm, yeah.
right. So you would, okay, I see. So the VA is only doing the initial calling. You still will have to hire local people, like American,
You
like
can
not
do it.
American.
You can do it.
I see. Okay, so I'd be,
And I
okay,
know
so
you're
I'd be,
not. I know you're not American. You're Canadian, Kathy. But you get what I mean, though. Someone who
yes,
actually speaks English and understands people.
right. Got it.
The
Yeah,
VA it's tough, right? They've never been in the States. They don't understand
yeah,
the slang. They don't understand our
right.
culture. They don't understand our psychology. They don't understand anything but the Philippines or Mexico or whatever they're from, right? Like they've never been to the States. They don't understand how things operate here. And
Right.
language barrier is a tough thing for them too. No matter how good their English is, if someone, jokes around, they're not going to understand it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, okay. So they just basically ask some basic questions to do the initial screening, and then they put it into, okay, it's a process. Got it. Okay. Yeah, we'll focus. How's that? And get this process set up. Kim and I would work together on this.
There you
Right, Kim?
go.
Yeah,
Right.
and Mo, maybe so you killed 2 birds with 1 stone, is we get on a call with you together
Yeah, that works.
and then to repeat everything.
Yeah, that's fine. We'll dig deep into your guys' systems and make sure you guys are good to go. Just book a
Okay.
time that works for both of you guys.
Yeah, sounds good. We'll do that. Thanks.
Mhm. Well, cool.
Okay,
Was this helpful?
yeah.
We cover a
Yes.
lot.
Yes.
All right. Well, it's 9:40. I get up at 5:30 in the morning, so I will talk to you guys.
I'll be
Next.
lucky if I'm going to bed at 5:30.
What are you talking about? Oh, yeah, you do night shift. Forgot.
Yeah, I'm
Oh.
a night.
Oh, yikes.
All right.
Okay, have a good night, everyone. Thank you so much, Mo.
All right. Thank you all. Appreciate it.
You all have a good night.
Ciao.